Hello, can you hear me? Am I coming through okay? Can everybody hear me all right? Brendan, Michael, Tendu, Mark, Scott, how you all doing? Can you hear me all right? Ryan, Fubar, John, Alice, John, another John. Or is that the same John? How is everybody doing? What are we all doing tonight? Ow. Where are we from? What part of the world are we from? Job, how you doing, mate? Mark, Andrew, I said hello to John. We can hear you fine. Nice day here in Scotland. Well, it's bloody raining here. Partner, how we doing? Hi Leon, sorry to hear about your troubles. Can I prick your brain, please? I have a clutch fitted to a... Oh, it's going too fast. Stop, 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 stop. I have... Oh, from Lincoln! I'm from Lincoln too. Sunny Lincoln, Sheer. Claremorris, Tipperary, Scotland. We're Clio, and it juggles when I release the pedal, low RPM. Is it petrol or diesel? Half Spain and Dutch, now living in Scotland. Well, that's some combination, mate. Halifax, Gatwick. Up the Dubs. Wales. Newcastle. Liverpool. Staffordshire. Germany. Cup of tea in a moo mug. And it's hot. It's kind of normally what a cup of tea is just after you made it, innit? In it! I'm just waiting for him to see if it's petrol or diesel. So how are we all doing today? Or this evening, depending where you are in the world, of course. A big thank you for your videos. They really help me with my Peugeot timing belt and Skoda clutch from Northern Ireland. No problem, mate. That's what it's all about. Oz, how you doing? 2005 Toyota Tundra. No engine light, any ideas? Yeah, it's your trumpets, Oz. The trumpets need realigning, and check your piss take valves as well. That could be the issue. Thanks a lot, Java mate. Watching the videos and let the ads run through. Brilliant. It's diesel, right? Have they fitted a? Was it a dual mass flywheel, and have they fitted a solid flywheel conversion, Sandy? Not the best. Have I missed something, Scott? Or is that answering my question of how we all doing? So yes, Oz, change your trumpets and your piss take valves. Problem solved. Scotty told me. Basically, when I released the pedal, it judders at first. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. If it was a dual mash flywheel and they put a solid flywheel conversion, that could just be the issue. It might not have really gone well with a solid flywheel conversion. Or if it's getting worse and worse and worse, then there's an issue with the clutch, and it's going to have to be looked at. Unfortunately, there's going to be no easy way out of that. You can try bleeding it again, but I doubt it. And exactly what did they change? Did they change it all? Did they just change some of it? Do you know, it's going to be kind of hard to figure out that one. It's not going to be an easy one in the sense of you're not just going to be able to open and close the door 3 times, lick the window, switch the ignition on and off, and it's going to be fixed. Unfortunately. That would be a good fix though. It'd make a good video. Phone's going mental. Why is it going mental? Why are you going mental? Not feeling the best. You got the old corona, Scott? Sorted. Hi Bodgit. I used to know a second-hand car dealer in Lincolnshire called Roger Cheapman. Okay. Hi Leon. Any ideas? ECT light on a Mercedes Sprinter had change filter. You're gonna have to plug a scan tool in and see exactly what codes, because again it could just be a million and one things, so you're gonna have to get some codes on that, mate. Beer and a pint of glass for a nice sunny day. Good luck with the future. Hope you get it fixed. New shop. Thanks a lot, mate. Where in Lincoln are you from? Lincoln itself, Carl. Lincoln itself. Used to live on a road. Don't want about bringing it in. Or I think when you're in like on a public, like a public train or bus or something like that, when there's loads of people around, I think you have to wear it. But there's definitely nothing in the old countryside where they've said we have to wear it. Not as far as I know, anyway. No, just had a clutch. Think it's time like they cleaned Euro parts, loop clutch and box. It's possible for. I mean, it's possible for it to be a dodgy clutch, but like I said, if they've put a solid flywheel conversion in, that's what the dual mass flywheel does. It takes the shake out, especially in first gear, sorry. So it could just be the fact, you know, I need more information. I need to know what clutch they fitted. Solid flywheel, dual mass flywheel. Did they just put a clutch in and leave the old dual mass flywheel there? Because that's most of the issue then. You know, I need more information. So I'm guessing maybe they left the dual mass flywheel on it, and that's the issue with the juddering. The dual mass flywheel's going, but again, it's a guess. It's going up. Monday Mark III, throwing out blue smoke at startup, and if I hold the revs, it misses. Again, Luke, need more information. It could be your injectors, could be your pump, but more than likely your injectors. Could even just be a dodgy filter. Cheers, buddy. Good luck. Cool, me too. Which parts? I'm sure that's just an old message card. I think you've heard the answer. South Park in Lincoln itself. Good evening. Good evening to you too. Any decent mechanic in Staffordshire, UK that I can go to? I wouldn't know, mate. Light comes on and off on my Mark 7 Transit. The oil. Oh, are we dropping frames? But the oil has been changed. Any reason for this? It could just be a dodgy sensor. A dodgy oil pressure sensor. Or oil pressure switch. They claim they fitted a 3-piece clutch. Yeah, but what clutch did they fit? Was it a dual mass flywheel? Was it a solid flywheel conversion? Why is everyone here behaving so well? Because it doesn't get them anywhere trying to slag me off. Because it doesn't work. But please do. Feel free. Feel free. I changed the filter, glow plugs and relay and had to turn the key 3 times or so to find the fuel. Was doing it before I changed everything. It's most probably your injectors. I think there's Delphi injectors in them, and it's most probably your injectors. Other end of the city to me. If you ever come back, visit me, give me a shout. Whereabouts are you, Carl? No, fitted old flywheel. Well, that's most probably the problem. You can't really fit. Well, you can fit an old dual mass flywheel, but it really isn't worth it because they do give problems. So it's most probably your flywheel. But then if they fitted the 3-piece, well, I suppose they're counting. Yeah, yeah. You know, they should have really fitted everything. It's most probably your flywheel. How hard is it to change the inner tie rod on a VW transporter? It's not hard, Andy. You just need a special tool to get the inner tie rod off. Some of them do. You can take them off with a 32mm spanner. I can't think off the top of my head if you can do it with that one. Some of the aftermarket ones have like a thing so you can put a spanner on. Some of them do, some of them don't. So you just need the special little tool to go in. They're very cheap online, and you just they hook onto the round bar of the inner tie rod. Spin it off, spin the new one on, new track rod, track it, boom, sorted. Simples, simples. Taking a busman's holiday. Must be sick of car questions. No, not really. Some of them, sometimes they can be very awkward because people just say, I've got a blue car and it's not starting, what's wrong? Literally, they can just say that to me. And I'm like, well, what car is it? What year is it? Petrol, diesel, what size engine is it? What's it doing? You know, some people just think, yeah, oh, I know, it's a blue car and it's not working. Oh, yeah, that's just lick your windows 3 times, jump up and down, and put your shoes on the wrong way, and you'll fix it. That's what a lot of people expect me to say. I'm missing all these questions. If I miss your question, just re-type it in. If it was red, it would start. You need an impact wrench with the big DeWalt wouldn't make short work of it. What's that now? What have I missed? I hope I find somewhere soon too. It will work out. Things just do. As frustrating as it is what it is. Lack of honest mechanics in Staffordshire earlier. I don't think that's the case. You just maybe haven't found the right one yet. It's not. Also, what I seem to find is it's not so much that mechanics are dishonest. There is dishonest mechanics out there, but then there's dishonest people in all, you know, walks in life, no matter what they are. You know, like estate agents and fucking lawyers. Can't stand estate agents. Anyway, it's more with mechanics that maybe they don't know what they're doing. So when they don't know what they're doing, it's not that they're dishonest. It's just they don't know what they're doing and they're throwing parts at it, hoping to fix it. Which is, I don't know if it's worse than being dishonest, to be honest, because you're gonna still spend a fortune. Actually, yes, that's a great question. So I'm gonna leave it to you in the chat. What's worse? Put it in the old chat box. Is it worse being a dishonest mechanic or a mechanic that doesn't know what he's doing? What do you think? Let me know. It's going to be interesting to see the questions. And give me kind of a reason why you've picked whatever reason you picked. Because it's kind of a tough one, really. Because they're both going to cost you a bloody fortune. I find when people blame mechanics when the real issue is the cost of the repair. Yeah, great point, Max. Great point. Yeah, because they budget any money to look after their car. Been there. Yeah, that is actually that is a brilliant point, actually, Max. There, fantastic point. You know, people come to me all the time, and I'll say it's €1,000. What do you mean it's €1,000? Well, you haven't done anything to your car in 3 years. What do you expect? A mechanic with clean tools. What have I missed? I think I've seen most of your videos and enjoy them. I like your humour. I like the way you fix cars for little money. Keep up the good work, mate, and ignore the trolls. Thanks a lot, Andy. I can't ignore the trolls because it's too funny taking the piss out of them. It's too funny. Leon, you think technology has gone too far as regards car maintenance for the average Joe? It's gone too far for even a garage, even a normal garage, to be honest, because the equipment now you need on certain cars is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So it's difficult because it's just difficult for everybody. You know, if someone comes into me and even a simple job like doing rear brakes on a car, if you don't have the computer to wind them back, you can't do it. And they might say, oh, that mechanic can't even change my brakes. But you might need a 200 quid computer. And, you know, depending on what you're doing, you might not be able to afford that. And it's awkward. It's awkward. And you can kind of get a bad name just because you can't do a job. Doesn't mean you're not very good at it, though. The DeWalt's absolutely best. Dishonest is killing the trade. A mechanic that doesn't know what he's doing can do more damage at more cost and the motor. Yeah, again, fantastic answer there. Fantastic reason. Motor is worth and ripping off. Dishonest, if dishonest, get the job. Have a great local. Oh, I keep missing these. Stop bloody going up. Because some of these are brilliant. Where was I? I've lost it. Did my N47 chain on my driver last week. Had an oil leak after a few drives. Looked the gearbox out to see what's going on. Turns out the leak was from the dipstick O-ring. Oh no! What a nightmare. It happens though. But yeah, I feel your pain. I think dishonest because he threw only the parts. Hopefully a guy who doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, again, Neil, another great point, but like someone else made, you know, a guy who doesn't know what he's doing could potentially cause a lot more damage as well. Where maybe a dishonest guy will know what's going on, but he won't cause as much damage. Now, they're both, I'm not saying one of them is better, but it's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky. Hope you find new premises soon. Dishonest mechanics as cheers for the reply, Leon. No problem, mate. I should bring my van to you and you can put your vid. What van have you got, mate? least somebody that doesn't know what they are doing is trying, but only thing is defense mechanics is. You should be in bed.
Where is Mummy?
We are live on YouTube. You should be in bed. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Watch the wires. Why are you not in bed?
Because I want to do the video again.
Because of what?
I want to do the video.
Now you'll see yourself there in a second. There's a bit of a delay.
What is it today?
I'd gladly pay if you was by me, Leon. Unfortunately, there you are, look. Say hello. I watched the video with the water in the fuel you did, prime example. Yeah, that actually was a good example, because the guy that was going to do that job.
This is nothing, this is totally nothing. No.
The guy that was going to do that job.
I'm
I'm not allowed to talk now.
Yeah. Now, welcome to another Sierra video. Now, in this episode, I'm hoping I can get 108 steps. Right. Now.
Can I talk yet?
There is no one to talk. Just a robot.
Oh, I'm just a robot.
Nothing. No Leon here. No Daddy. No Daddy.
I'm here.
No.
I can't read the comment. Can I just drink with two? Can I drink with two? Can I? Can I drink with two?
Welcome to another show video. Now, today, Leon's gonna shut up.
Leon's gonna shut up. That's not very nice, is it?
I was joking! Okay, comment.
Well, watch it.
Now, some people have been doing this for like the past now.
I've got no word of mechanics, the best one retired.
Yeah, don't listen to this fella.
Listen to this fella.
Don't listen to this fella. He said... Okay, I'll stop.
I hate estate agencies too, yeah, so do I.
Okay, this is...
Ow!
No, this
I
is...
need to drink my tea.
No, this is not tea. This you're gonna drink his tea. Now, as you can see here, he drinks his tea.
If you're gonna talk into the camera.
Okay, Karen. Listen.
Someone's saying you're the boss, look.
I'm the boss?
Are you the boss?
I'm the boss of Leon, that's right.
Why do you keep saying Leon? What's my name?
Leon, of course.
What?
Someone says, Leon, you're the boss.
No, someone says you're the boss.
Who?
You.
No comments. It's just...
What's my name?
Leon.
What's my name?
Dad has a lot of stuff, like Linda, but I'm just... Yeah, Linda, stop!
Why are you so hyper at this time?
Because...
You're supposed to be in bed. Oh, Mommy's coming now.
Hello, we're going to another Sierra video. Now, we're going to say don't waste that. No.
Keeps telling me to shut up and
Miss.
I'm trying to record a video.
Out.
Now, in this episode...
Don't do back chat me. Beds now.
Mom,
Say goodnight to your fans.
Bye, friends.
Right.
No!
Bye-bye.
No, in this video. Now, welcome back to my video. Now, today, this is just like a fake robot. Just nothing. Just
Right, if you actually be quiet and shut up,
Okay.
I'll let you stay.
Okay.
Now, I've missed a load of comments, so I do apologise. Mike, stop it, but thank you. But seriously, mate, stop it. I'm glad my kids are grown up.
Glad, Leon. Glad, Leon.
Why do you keep saying my name like that?
In front of the comments.
Dishonest mechanics and people do half job. Make it more difficult.
I am not. Sierra is a...
But my logo
No, this is
could
just...
be
This
the
is
next.
just...
Everyone thinks
This is
it's all about getting ripped off.
Okay. It is definitely.
She's had chocolate. No, she had. This is the problem. She hasn't.
You just.
If you see this one, if I want to see what she's like on Red Bull, because it'd be like the end of the world, literally. There'll be a black hole in the middle of the planet if we give this one Red Bull.
Oh, give me Red Bull! Give me Red Bull, Colin!
I'm not giving you Red Bull.
Give me Red Bull, Colin! Someone say yes or no, give me Red Bull. And don't let me go.
Stop.
Give
If you don't stop, you're going to have to go. So it's up to you. You're not getting Red Bull. That's like, it's like a paradox. It'd be like seeing yourself back in the future. You just can't do it. Right, that's it. You're going to have to go.
Okay.
Stop it. Right, that's it. Go on. Go hello. Say hello to Mummy.
I promise.
You can go and annoy Mummy now. Go on.
Okay.
Mummy wants you.
But I'm not going to get my present.
What present?
Five Nights at Freddy's present.
Tomorrow. Now go.
I'm blocking this episode.
Linda.
Sierra, come here now. If we don't split tomorrow, keep this up.
Okay.
That's the point, come on.
Bye.
A lot of garages near me are great fitters and they seem dishonest, but his real issue is has all the equipment but know how to use it, and it makes that's another problem. Having the equipment, you still need to know how to use it. But the problem is many don't give a change trust, but you see. Naughty princess. You are blessed, buddy. Yeah, head wrecker. And that's her like having no sleep at all today and bouncing off the walls with no chocolate, no nothing. She'd be the great, perfect secret weapon. If you want to like assassinate somebody, you give her a can of Red Bull, give her to somebody like a world leader that no one likes or something, and I guarantee you, give it an hour. That's it. Come back to the UK. Well, we can do much better. We left the EU, and your kids will be with the accent. Yeah, but even if I do come back to the UK, I can't go everywhere of the UK, so there'll be still people that are mad. Oh, you should have come here, you should have come there. I didn't find a place yet, no, Mike. But hopefully soon. Apparently chloroform is available. I don't think that would work. I don't think that would work. So, all the new people in, where are you from? Let's see how much of a diverse audience we have tonight. Let me know. I'm not sure the delay. I think it's like 30-second delay. Hope you get it sorted with your clutch, mate, but I have a feeling that either you got a dodgy clutch or the dual mass flywheel is on its way out. Mobile work. I was thinking about mobile work. That has its own problems as well, but I was thinking about that. That still might be on the cards. Doing a bit of mobile work. Swansea, Northern Ireland. Carrickfergus. Worcestershire. Ooh, Liverpool. Oh, I love the Americans trying to say any word with sheer in. It's funny. Shire. Liverpool. Essex. Keep smiling. Set up Patreon site, mate. Your vids are good. I have a Patreon site, mate. So yeah, I do have a Patreon. Shelton. Timmy could help you with mobile work. Yeah, I could ring him up all the time, ask him his advice. A Scot in Germany. What made you move over there, mate? I'm sure. You are lucky, but hard work. Very hard work. Like I said, the perfect secret weapon. The perfect secret weapon. Now you talk. So when's everyone back to work? Is the people back to work now, or are people going back to work? What sort of time do you have left before you actually have to go back to work? Do, 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 do. Want another cup of tea? Helga, how you doing? Where's all my food? It's supposed to be sending me loads of food through the post, even though it's highly illegal, but I don't care. I don't think I can go to America, because if I go and see Mike and Helga, I don't think I'd ever leave. And I don't think the plane would be able to take off after I stay at Helga's, even for a couple of days. Have you been looking around? I have, Dave. I have been looking, but like I said, the issue is I live in a very small place, and there's nothing really available around where I am. And if I go further afield, it's like completely starting again, which to try and start again in this type of time is awkward, because I'm going to be sitting in a place kind of doing nothing for maybe 6 months, a year, and that's the problem, trying to fill that gap where there's not going to be not necessarily a lot of work in, and yeah, just paying out is going to be quite difficult, because the virus kind of killed me the few months it was on with work anyway, and still paying out everything. So yeah, it's just awkward. Now that the MOT centres are doing the odd MOT, you're getting more jobs coming in, but only clearing about 500-600 on labour per month at the moment. Yeah, it's not easy. Maybe you'd be working for someone in a larger garage. Yeah, but even the problem is, even with working for somebody, there's a couple of problems. One, I don't like being told what to do. And two, there's other issues that kind of makes it hard for me to work for somebody that I might need to quickly leave. And when you have to quickly leave all the time, the boss can kind of get pissed off, which is completely understandable. So it's not going to really work as such. And I've been working for myself for such a long time now. Going and working with someone else would just be too bloody difficult. Sometimes I think the amount of money put into that car, and the car is worth about 400. Yeah, but again, Sandy, the thing is, once you put a lot of money into a car, the other thing, think of it this way, is you know exactly what that car has done. I say this to people all the time. They say to me, right, let's just say, for example, they got a 2007 whatever car, and let's say there's £1,000 need spending on it, but they've spent, say, I don't know, 2,000 over the last 2 years. They've put new clutches in. They've done an awful lot of work to it, brakes, suspensions, and everything. So the car will be perfect. Just because you go out and buy a new car for say 5 or 6 grand, doesn't mean you're getting a better car. Because that car you just bought for 5 or 6 grand still might need 3,000 spent on it to be perfect. So the car, can you make any more noise? The car that you've been putting money in, you know exactly what's done to it. So it kind of evens it out in the sense of you know what's done to it, and it might be better. I'd love a cup of tea, thank you.
Don't the cup. Show the whole world. Jesus, mate.
She's moaning that the cup is dirty. I'm going to say just wash it, but then I get it thrown back at her.
Show them how the word towards the cup.
I have to send you a care package. Thank you, Helga. Work from home. I work from home anyway. Oh, okay. Been doing small repairs for the NHS for free unless they need parts, then they pay. Oh, that's very good of you, mate. Very good of you. We did a 24-hour live stream for the frontline workers. I did that, I don't know, a month or so ago. That was good fun. I think it's maybe a month and a half ago, and the video is still YouTube. Once you've done a live video, they have to like render it or do whatever they do, check it. And that was a month and a half ago, and it's still being checked. It's still being checked, and all that time. I can't put it live yet. Tough getting farmers to rent land for car repairs for sure. What? Tough getting farmers to rent. I'm not sure what that means, mate. I think you've suffered a big... Oh, you made a point now. What point did I make? You sound pissed. I sound pissed. I think exactly the same. Tell your wife to stop saying potato. You better off getting cars fixing rather than buying. Well, it depends, doesn't it? Because, like I say to people, at least you know. The problem with Ireland at the minute is they're kind of screwing you on the older cars. A car that's more than 10 years old, they are making it a lot higher to insure the car, so making it basically not worth your while insuring it because it's too expensive. So they make you buy a newer car, but the problem is buying a newer car, they then turn around to you and say, well, the car's newer, it's worth more, so they put the insurance up anyway. So there's a lot of people, you know, even people that are out the boy racer bracket, that are still getting screwed on insurance over here, and that's the problem. So you have to think about it, you know, as regards insurance, as regards the car, and all that sort of stuff. Trade insurance is a lifesaver because obviously I don't have to worry. I just hop into any car, I'm insured in anything. But obviously it's expensive. But compared to what some people are paying more to insure their car than I'm paying for trade insurance. And I'm talking people that are older than me. So yeah, it's just yeah. Outright sounds politics. What country needs to rise? Thank you.
Absolutely lashing.
Yeah, it is pissing it down, alright. I'm glad you said I've been telling people for years when they spend a heap on a new... Yeah, like, it just depends. I mean, some people can just go out and buy a new car. You know, if you go out, if you've got like a 2007 car and then you go to, say, like a 2018 car, for example, the chances are that 2018 car is pretty much mechanically and everything sound. But the price to buy that is huge. So it's difficult, and then your insurance is more expensive. And then if you just, because some people don't like I wouldn't go out for there's another reason. I wouldn't go out to say to shopping or anything like that in a decent car, because when you put it in the car park, some people could bang a trolley off it, they could do all sorts with it and destroy it. Where if you've got kind of a car you don't really give a shit about, it doesn't matter if they do it. So there's a lot to think about. There's an awful lot to think about. Yes, Can Diagnostic has just... I haven't mentioned this because I didn't really know it was happening, but Can Diagnostic set up a GoFundMe, and I haven't mentioned it. He did it a few weeks ago, and he's just put the link there, and I just have to say thank you. I'm going to be doing a video very soon thanking everybody, because there's some people that have really, really helped me out an awful lot. And some people who say they help people out and say they're doing aren't. So I'm going to do a video. It might cause some waves, but it needs to be said. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting video. Insurance companies make deals with dealers. Insurance companies make deals with the... I don't understand, mate. I've got a BMW 530D. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, for a start. Chris, the other question is why? Gone into limp mode after swirl flaps deleted. Help. Right. Well, had they actually been deleted properly? Because it might not have been deleted properly, and it could just be a swirl flap issue. And did you actually get all the swirl flaps out of the car? Nothing went in? Plug it into a scan tool and actually see what code you've got coming up, because maybe the deletion, pardon me, maybe the deletion didn't actually delete the problem, if you know what I mean. Any thoughts on company Foxwell? Just ordered a scan tool for side jobs. I'm 17 doing side jobs. Foxwell, I have to say, I've been using Foxwell for years. You look at my old videos, and I always used I think it was a 644 Pro. At the time, it was quite expensive for a handheld scan tool. It was like 500 quid, I think, going back a long time. But it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and they keep updating it and everything, and I still use it today. It's not touchscreen or anything like that, because it's a really old one, and prices have kind of come down, and the newer version of mine, the price has come down, and I believe it's touchscreen and everything like that. But yeah, I actually really do like Foxwell stuff. I want to get my hands on the new GT90, their tablet version, to see exactly what that's like. But at the minute, yeah, I have to say, I really do like Foxwell stuff. Used them for years, never had an issue. At the time when I bought mine, it was the cheapest one on the market for what it did. There was no other scan tool out there for actually what this was capable of doing. Scan tools are like computers; they move on so quickly. You know, the technology and all the stuff that goes into it. But at the time, it was the cheapest one on the market for exactly what it did. It was bloody brilliant. So you should get on well with that, Owen. In there. Ooh, where's it gone? I keep forgetting when I do that, I lose the chat. In 1979, I wasn't even born. Sorry, mate. In the US, a man told me one day soon, carman won't wear it to afford a car. That time is. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly. It depends where you are in the world, but like in Ireland again, for example, the tax on a car in Ireland is ridiculous. The newer cars after 2008, the tax has come down, but like I said, not many people, you know, can afford a newer car. But to give you an example, on my 2007 ST Mondeo, which is the diesel one, just a 2.2 diesel, it's it's 951 euros to tax for 1 year, just for road tax for 1 year. If you've got big, you know, X5s and big Jeeps with seats in the back, they can be 1,500, 2 grand to tax for 1 year. Some of the big Range Rovers are 3.5 grand to tax for a year. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and that's the problem. Now, some people say, well, if you can afford them, you can afford the tax. Granted, if you can afford a brand new one, yes, you can afford the tax. But what, you know, the same car, my car in the UK, I actually saw an RS. I went to a car show once and I saw an RS Focus, and I'm trying to think what it was. Was it 1,400 euros to tax for the year? And right next to it was exactly the same car, but it was in Northern Ireland, so it was the Northern Ireland Reg rather than Southern Ireland Reg. It was £270 to tax that car for 1 year, and 1,400 and something euros to tax the one in Ireland. Same car, same country, because they are, I'm not going to get into Northern Ireland, but it's the same fucking country, and yet you just drive a bit up the road and the tax is that cheap. So that's another thing, and again, it depends in the world where you live, but that's what people have to pay kind of here. And at the end of the day, a 2.2 diesel isn't a big engine. Let's face it, 2.2 4-cylinder isn't a big engine, and yeah, we get screwed on tax. And someone's actually said it here: tax is a killer on old cars. 20-year-old car, 10-year-old car, much to cost, save, yeah. Make waves, go for it. I will be, don't worry, I will be doing that video very soon. Telling, you know, just how much everyone has helped me, which I really appreciate, and all the great comments and all the people say, oh, I'm watching all your old videos and watching the advert and everything. Absolutely fantastic. I never said to anybody, oh, you know, come and give me money, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I never said any of that, and I wouldn't do that. I never asked for anything, but a lot of people have helped me. But there is people out there who are supposed to be these like lovely people who say, oh, let's stick together, let's do this, let's do that, and they perceive themselves as like these really nice people online and on videos and stuff, and the fucking arseholes. End of story. They're arseholes. So I will be kind of exposing in a kind of a way, but it's just really I have to thank everybody who has shown me some support. I really do appreciate it. It's been brilliant, especially these hard times. That's fucking annoying moving as well. That's another thing. It's really annoying moving. And I'm moving, and I kind of got some storage, and I'm moving. It's like I'm moving everything twice, which is really annoying, because I have to move it and then sort it out and move it back. And anyway, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Can't believe it. Why is the tax so high? I actually don't know. I don't know why the tax is so high in Ireland. I know what they say on the newer cars, it goes on the emissions, but before everyone was worried about emissions, the tax was still high in Ireland, and I don't understand why. They really do. If you've got any type of big car, and like I said, I'm not talking a car over 2 litre, you forget about it. It goes in brackets. It goes on CC size, so it goes on brackets, just like most countries with tax. But when you go past the 2 litre, I think the 2 litre at the minute is 700 and something euros to tax for a year. So a car that's under 2000 cc's is 700 and something. If your car is 2001 cc, it goes up to 951. After, is it 2.5 litre or something? I can't remember. It's 2,500 cc. It goes up again to the £1,500 mark, and oh, it's ridiculous. It's utter ridiculous. I know people that he's got an X5 BMW Jeep. Yes, I'm saying Jeep because that just annoys people, because it is a Jeep. And he's paying, I think it's 1,500 odd euros for the year. But he's paying it, you know. But it's still, you know, essentially the year's tax is more than the vehicle is worth. So if you actually, that's the good thing. If you want to get a cheap car in Ireland's your best bet. Anything like that Jeep in Ireland, that X5, is essentially worthless, right? Because no one wants it. The people that want them Jeeps, they have the money to go out and buy a brand new one. They don't want an old one because, you know, they want to keep up with the Joneses, right? So if you actually want a cheap vehicle and you're in the UK, if you come to Ireland, you can pick up some like big X5s, big Land Cruisers, you know, Range Rovers and stuff like that, really cheap, because essentially in Ireland they're worthless. And then take it back to the UK, you'll save a fortune because nobody wants to buy them. You know, that vehicle in Ireland, for example, the X5 I'm talking about, is maybe worth, I mean, it really is clean, but it's maybe worth 1,500, maybe 1,000, maybe a little bit more. In the UK, again, I don't know, that's maybe worth 3 or 4 grand. I don't know, I'd have to check it out, but you get the idea. It's about that. So it'd be worth your while coming over here and actually getting it. Igor, how you doing? Have you got beef with someone? I've always got beef with someone. Not particularly beef, Ryan. No, I don't have beef with anybody. It's just, it's annoying when people say something online, saying how good they are and how much they like want to help people, and make out that they're these like brilliant people when behind the scenes they're arseholes. And yeah, so it's just, there's no need for it, you know. If you're an arsehole, be an arsehole. Don't try and pretend you're not an arsehole. You know, I'm an arsehole, but I admit that I'm an arsehole. I'm not trying to pretend any different. So yeah, Do you know, these goody two shoes who think they're goody two shoes? You see it all. You know, a lot of people get exposed, especially in charities. You know, and they're saying that they're all brilliant, and behind the scenes they're ripping off the charities, but people think they're absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Thought we had it bad. 320 for 1.6. Your price are crazy. Yeah, I told you. It's if you go on the Irish, what is it? Irish tax. Oh, there's a website. Oh, it'll come to me. There's a website you can go on, and it lists all the engine size and how much tax you pay. Irish revenue, car revenue, or something. I can't remember exactly, but if you type in Irish tax brackets, it'll come up, and you'll see exactly how much we have to pay in Ireland for tax. It is absolutely ridiculous, people. But if you go online, you will see it. Because some people, I say it to some people, and they don't believe me, and I'm like, why would I lie? What? I don't understand. Why would I lie? Because all you got to do is Google it, and you can tell if I'm lying or not. I've no reason to lie. No reason at all. Stronger together only works if you're actually willing to help each other. Yes, yes. Scotland garages are filled with them. They tax the people on taxes lower to attract massive corporations. Northern Ireland. I think about buying a car over your side. Yeah, especially, I'm not talking about a normal car now. If you buy, let's say, just a bog standard normal car, I don't know, let's say like a Mondeo or Passat or something like that, you're not going to save money coming to Ireland. If anything, it's going to cost more. A car in Ireland, you know, let's say a 2015 Audi A4 is going to cost you more in Ireland than it will in the UK. And the Irish, the spec of the cars in Ireland will be a lot lower than the UK. Again, because you get charged if you've got a like my Mondeo ST, for example, because it's an ST, it's got all the leather and all the crap in it. It's going to cost you a lot more to insure. So the car specs are a lot lower in Ireland because of that reason. You know, there's not, you know, I've seen even newer cars with just electric windows in the front because they're just cheaper. So a normal car, you won't save any money, but like a high end, you know, like a big Jeep, some big Jag, some big Merc, some big BMW, something like that, you know, like a V8 or something mad, yeah, 100% it would be cheaper to buy it over here than it would be in the UK. You know, like let's say M3s and M5s and stuff like along them type of lines, you would save a fortune buying it in Ireland than you would in the UK. But then the other issues is, depending on where the car is from, it could be, you know, that the roads here are a lot worse, so it might not, you know, look, it swings and roundabouts. Too many people are like that. Exactly, Ryan. And we will expose some of them. I'm on a long run, dropping off a customer. I've got to find a service. Do you need to stop and get the old Jimmy Riddle out? Or Gypsy's Kiss? People from London will understand that. I like old Range Rovers. Yeah, so do I. Now, if you get a really old car, you know, a car that's more than 30 years old, the tax laws are different then. You pay classic tax, which is nothing. So, you know, that's not a problem. I'm talking about cars that are in between 30 years old and a new car, if that makes sense. So if a car that's like 10 years old, you know, some of the Range Rovers, even like if you buy a big, not that I've ever seen any in Ireland, I'm not saying there isn't, but there's certainly none around me. In the bigger cities in Dublin there would be. I've got two guys that come to me with Range Rovers, but they've just got diesel engines. But if you get like the big V8 Range Rovers, they can be £3,500–4,000 to tax, some of them, if depending on the emissions. So yeah, it just makes that car, once that car gets, you know, 5 or 6 years old, once the person that has the money that doesn't want it anymore because the car is old, who's going to then buy it and want to spend, you know, £3,000 to £4,000 taxing it? Not many people. So that car essentially then becomes worthless, within reason. You know what I mean, within reason. Do you have classic? Yeah, yeah, we do have classic card, but it's not exempt. You still have to pay. I think it's €56 now for the year for a classic card. It could have gone up slightly. Last time I taxed a classic card, it was €56 for the year. And that doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's 30 years old, that's what it will be. Just put my little 1999 Peugeot 205 1.5 convertible carb engine back to road. Any tips for getting on top of fuel and problems? What exactly is it doing? It's not getting the fuel in properly, because what you can do is just replace the whole system. So new pumps. You can even get upgraded pumps now, because back then the pumps, technology has moved on. You can get better pumps, aftermarket pumps and stuff like that, different filters, which can really help. What about VRT? How much is it? Again, VRT is ridiculously expensive in Ireland. It goes on the price of the car. I know of a 2010 Skoda Cordoba diesel, right? 2 litre or 1.9 diesel. I can't remember, but it's 2000 and. Huh? Your pussy soaking. Oh, what's your pussy soaking for? Show everyone your soaking pussy. Soaking pussy. Yeah, it is soaking. It goes on the price of the vehicle. So that 2010 car was £5,000 they wanted. £5,000 because it was a high spec English one. £5,000 to bring in. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah. But the more expensive the car, the more expensive it is to bring in. And I was actually told it's illegal. What Ireland's doing is illegal. They're not allowed to do it, and they get fined from the EU every year. A new subscriber, Donald, how you doing? They get fined every year from the EU, but the fine isn't as much as what they bring in. So they pay the fine, don't know how much it is, but let's just for round figures, let's say it's $1 million. But they might get 5 million in that year, so they've still collectively got 4 million in profit. So they pay the fine. So yeah, it's actually illegal what they do, but because it's a country, they get away with it. They just pay the fine and say no more about it. But I wish the EU would just kind of say, look, right, it's illegal, end of story, it's illegal, you're not allowed to do it, or no, it's not illegal. Don't make it this thing in the middle. It's either illegal or it isn't illegal, end of story. That's the problem. Just, yeah. Thoughts, Bodgit and Leggit, have you thought about working with someone else? Yeah, no, yes, no. I can't. It's difficult. I'm working for myself for such a long time, and working with someone else is difficult. There's a lot of garages that I've worked with, and the other issue, I've explained some of the issues that I don't really like being told what to do. There's other issues kind of behind the scenes that I don't want to get into, where I might need to kind of go quickly. But also, a lot of the garages, not all of them, but there's some garages that I've worked in, they don't allow you to, like, if a car comes in and it says EGR valve problem, right, just replace the EGR valve. They won't give you, because let's face it, 85%, 90% of the time, it's an EGR valve problem. It's that other 10% it isn't. So they don't want you to spend, an hour diagnosing it just because you could have changed it in that time. And when a busy garage, if you do that, you could be wasting too much time in their eyes, which you're not in my eyes, and it causes issues. I've got oscilloscopes out in another garage. What the fuck are you doing? Why you just replace the part? Because 90% of the time, 85% of the time, it is the problem. It's the other 10% of the time when they're scratching their head and go, oh shit, and then, but that happens quite, infrequent, so they don't bother. So there's other reasons than just I don't like people telling me what to do. Do you know what I mean? It's yeah. Taxman ripping you off. The government, yeah, the biggest crook going, the taxman. Mitsubishi Outlander raised by 2 inches with spaces You figured out how to make a real alignment properly. What do you mean? Figure out how to... You can actually, if you've done anything to your suspension in your vehicle, the really expensive tracking machines you drive on, they're absolutely useless. You can pay 50 grand for one, and if you've put different suspension or like for example, I'll give you an example. A guy came to me with a twin cam and he put a 180 front suspension and a 180 engine in, and he had really mad camber. Now it looked cool, but the suspension geometry was completely off, and he was stopping at different garages because he was coming down for a car meet, and they all had the really expensive drive on, you know, you put it's a 19 blah 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 and it gives you all the, but they couldn't track it because it was essentially two different cars. So then he finally come to me, and I had the cheap laser tracking. Now it was still a couple of grand, but compared to, you know, the 50 grand thing, it was basically peanuts. And because my machine sat on it, and my machine, it doesn't matter what car it is, it doesn't matter, you know, there's no programming in it. You just set up to the laser level of it. They're brilliant, and I was the only one able to track it with a 2 grand machine rather than a 50 grand machine, which is crazy. So what you need to do is you need to find somebody with kind of the older laser levels that sit on the wheels, and you'll be able to track that vehicle absolutely perfect. And if you want to get the camber right, you can actually get the stick-on ones, and I've showed it in my videos. It sticks onto the disc, and you can actually test the camber of each wheel, and you can adjust it accordingly. So with very cheap equipment, if you find someone in the right garage, they could easily do that for you, mate. No problem whatsoever. Long crank time. Okay, thanks. What have I missed? Rob, I've missed a question. Jesus, do they tax your cycles? No, there is no tax on bikes yet, but I'm surprised it hasn't come in, to be honest. Seems like vehicle export is where the money... Yes, 100%. Vehicle export in Ireland is where the money's at. And the reason why, and the people that know this, but the people that don't, let's just, again, we're just for round figures. Let's say you get these figures are going to be wrong, but they'll give you an example. Let's say you get a 2015 Mercedes, and let's just say the government say, right, to bring that Mercedes into the country, we want €10,000 from you, and it's already on Irish plates, so that there's a £10,000 tax on that vehicle. If you export it to another country, you can claim that money back from the Irish government. Now they don't like it, but you can do it, and it is hard, and you have to go through a load of, you know, stuff. You have to prove it's been taken to a different country. There's a lot of paperwork, but I know guys that get big lorries, you know, big car transporters, and they put like 10 cars in it. They take it to another country. They basically sell the car there, and they claim all the tax back on it. The Irish government don't like it, but you can do it. And that's where the money is, 100%. You can make a killing because you essentially get paid twice. Once you take it to whichever country you take it to, and you can even do it in Northern Ireland, but it kind of, the tax laws are slightly different. But you then sell the car wherever you take it. Plus you also get the money back from the tax man. Just let the dog back in. Cat wants to go back out. We're back. Oh, my foot. Finland, how you doing, mate? See how much of a delay there is. Come back. This chat box is annoying. Gotta go have a drink around my neighbour's house because drink in Mindland of talking to his missus, and who wants to do that? Wants to do what have I missed? Peugeot 2005 early. Thanks for the reply. Oh, that was the long crank time on the Peugeot. Yeah, just check that, because you see your pump could still be working, for example, the fuel pump, but it could be essentially only working to half its capacity for what it should be. Yeah, they be taxing go-karts and bikes next. Who is the tax payable that Irish people are paying for the government's bank holidays? Yeah, the thing in Ireland, right? Now, I don't know if this is the same in other countries. I can only basically tell you what happens in Ireland. But in the Dáil, which is essentially the Irish government, there is, and this is completely true. Check it out, because again, I've told this to people, they don't believe me, but you can check it out. They have a free bar. So when they go in doing all their whatever they're doing, whether they're making new laws or just going in to sign paper, whatever it is, they can go to a free bar that is paid by the tax people. A few years ago, there was some law, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I can't remember what it was, but there was some law coming into Ireland, and they were debating, people putting their hand up, are they going to pass the law, whatever the case may be. And the bill for the bar over 3 or 4 days, I can't remember exactly, and again, go and check it out, it's not just me saying it, was close or just over or just under 100,000 euros. 100 grand, the fucking, what do you call them? Fucking arseholes, what do you call them? Oh, the government fucking arseholes. Nearly 100 grand or just over 100 grand for a bar bill. So they're essentially all pissed out the head getting this law to come through or not come through, whatever it is. Go and check it out. Google it. Fucking a joke. And then the £1 million printer, that they bought a printer for Dublin, and no one measured the door and it wouldn't fit through the door. Then they had to literally, again, go and check it out, cut a big hole in the wall, fit the printer in. Then they realised no one could run it, no one knew how to use it, and because it's a government job, you can't just press the buttons and guess, you have to go on a special course, which costs God knows how much. Then they put a load of people on the special course, and then they realised you needed a forklift to load it, because it's a huge printer, it has to be loaded, we're not just talking, 10 papers at a time here, we're talking a pallet load of paper goes into it, and you need a forklift to it was a joke. But again, check it out. Check it out. Finally, 2 item service in Southport area. Super happy. Super happy. Found somewhere to move. I haven't found anywhere yet, mate. I just found storage. Where can I get good wiring diagrams? Schedule for Ford. Haynes manual seems to miss out a lot. Again, there's no real good place to go, Luke, in the sense of for free. There's no place that I know of where you can get free wiring diagrams, because each car is different in the sense you could have the same car, but it's got air conditioning or not air conditioning or electric windows in the back. There's so many different kind of makes and models of the same car that the wiring diagram is different. Even when you pay for it. I'm talking thousands of pounds a year. You can pay, close to 10 grand a year, 10,000 euros a year for all the different wiring diagrams, and you still might not get it. So there isn't really anywhere you can do. Now, there is some portals out there. Your best bet, actually thinking about it, is maybe going to like the Ford portal. And you can pay to go on it for like an hour or 24 hours, and you can download whatever you want. And that's direct from the manufacturers themselves. Now, again, it depends how long you want to go to, how much it costs. It could be 30-50 quid for a 24-hour access, but that might be your best bet, actually thinking about it. I know the Bag Group do a great portal. You can get different portals out there. You just go in, just type it up on Google, and you can, you pay your fee, whatever the fee is, and you can download as much stuff as you want within that time you've actually got. So that actually might be your best bet there, Luke, because at least you're getting it directly from the manufacturers then. But you just have to be very careful, specific what car you've got. Some of them you can actually type in the chassis number and it'll tell you exactly what vehicle you've got, because like I said, if you just go in, say for a Ford Mondeo, there's loads of different Ford Mondeos out there, you know, depending on what spec you get, and there's more electronics in some of them than others. So, you know, petrol or diesel, obviously that's different. You know, a 1.6 to a 2 litre, that's different. You know, so you just need to make sure you definitely get the right vehicle, and then you're going to be golden. You're going to be sorted. Why your tax? I actually don't know, Robert. I really don't know why the car tax is so high here. It's always been that way. It hasn't just. It's not like an EU thing. Some people have thought it was like, oh, when Ireland's joined the EU, it was kind of like that. No, no, no. It's always been that way. Always been ridiculously high to tax cars here. It's never been. It's never been. It's never been cheap. It's just the way it's always been. Even fuel here is expensive. Do you know? Fuel, again, well, when you compare it to, say, like America, you know, it's ridiculously expensive here. But then once you've got ridiculously expensive fuel, ridiculously expensive tax, ridiculously expensive insurance, to be honest, I'm actually surprised anyone, unless you're a millionaire, anyone can drive in Ireland. It really is ridiculous. Like my sister's new car, in the UK, it's tax exempt. There's no tax to pay on it at all, completely free. Where she's paying, is it 190 euros a year? So 200 euros a year, essentially, for tax. Where in the UK, it's completely free. That car is zero emissions, completely and utterly free, and yet it's still 200 quid here for the year, 190 quid for the year, which is cheap. Believe me, that 200 quid is very, very cheap for what you pay in Ireland. But when you consider Northern Ireland, which is literally like from her only an hour away, maybe a little bit more, that car is completely free to tax. In the UK, completely free to tax, but in Ireland, 200 quid. Thank you. Redonkulous. Better move to Northern Ireland, mate. By the looks, it's cheaper. But again, to move everything, it's not as easy as that, is it? And again, I'm sure, you know, when you get into any country, I can only really talk about Ireland because I live here. When you get into any countries, there's different tax laws. Just because the grass is always green on the other side, as they say. So just because I'm moaning about the tax and something here doesn't mean that, yeah, you go to another country, okay, your tax is cheaper and your, you know, car insurance is cheaper, but there could be other things that are a hell of a lot more expensive, and it averages it out. Do you know what I mean? So it's yeah, it's just ridiculous. Generic wind, I'm struggling. Yeah, like I said, Luke, go to the portals. That's going to be your best bet. Can I go to my local bolt stockist for the 5 bearing hubs? 07 transit hub. Yeah, as long as you get the right spec, it's not going to be an issue. You know, you just need to make sure you get the right PID threats, the right thickness, the right, you know, strength. Yeah, because at the end of the day, a bolt's a bolt. As long as you get it and it's exactly the same, you know, size, width, strength, and all that, it's not going to be a problem. 99 at the mo. Is that fuel price? Is it? Yet this is yet another problem I have with Ireland, but that gets you OEM diagrams in the place you can. What's that, mate? I don't understand. Oh, you mean with the price of the wine? Hold on, I'm losing. Let me just go back up. So tax, fuel are expensive, but roads are rough. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. The roads are terrible, and yet everything is ridiculously expensive. Yeah. I'm 22 a year on tax on a 1.8 Insignia. Wow. A 1.8 Insignia here, I think, is 670 euros. Well, a 1.8 car, not a 1.8 Insignia. A 1.8, I believe, it's either 620 or 670. I can't remember exactly, so I'll quickly Google it. 1.8 car in Ireland. Let's see what's coming up. Of course, can't find it. Is that going to show me? Here we go. Road tax prices. Right, here we go. So a 1.8 in Ireland is €673 for the year, and you're paying £22. My granddad, when he came over here, he was paying £100 fully comp on his car in the UK, and when he came over here, his insurance went up to just under €1,000, and he was 60 something years old at the time, close to 70. I pay $320 for a 2.5 TDI A6 Quattro. So 2.5, 320. I'm presuming that's sterling because it certainly isn't euros. I know that for a fact. So 2.5 is in Ireland. You are paying €1,300. So you're paying 320 sterling, I'm presuming, or euros, depending on you're in a different part of the European Union. But in Ireland, that Quattro, €1,300 for that Quattro. €1,300. UK goes off emissions. Yeah, Ireland does on the newer cars after 2008, 2009, depend on the car. So you'll find, and again, just using it as an example, let's say a Ford Mondeo, and let's say it's a 2000, because I know the Ford Mondeo you have to be 2009. Let's say a Ford Mondeo, we'll just use a 1.6 as an example. Again, I'm not exactly 100% sure of the price, but let's say that 1.6 is £1,000 to buy that car in Ireland, 2008. The 2009 version would be 3,000 because the tax is cheaper. So you're literally paying triple the cost or double the cost of a car when you're moving in that year because the tax comes down hellish, and it's ridiculous. Now again, that's not the exact price figures. I'm just trying to give you an idea of kind of what it goes up. Let's just see what what's it saying for a 3 litre? A 3 litre car in Ireland. Now again, you know, a 3 litre car isn't like a big car. Let's face it. You know, now I know in America a 3 litre engine would be classed as nothing. But you know, a lot of the Jeeps have, you know, 3 litre engines in and stuff like that. You know, a lot of the bigger, you know, Land Cruisers, X5s, you know, Porsches, you know, big Mercs, big BMWs, all them, they easily have a 3 litre. €1,800 to tax that for 1 year in Ireland. 1,800. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And it's on, if you go on to motor road tax prices in Ireland. That's the website I'm on. But that's pre 1998, 1999. When you go, like I said, some of the newer Range Rovers, the big petrol ones with high emissions, they're £3,500. Because after 2008, 2000, it goes on emissions then. But like I said, my sister's car is free in the UK, but it's £200 in Ireland. So, you know, it's redonkulous. The people at the top are creaming it off, knowing the beef between Ireland and the UK is very strong. Yeah, it's the people in power in any country are all corrupt. Let's just face it. It's not just one country. It's them all. It's them all. The swirl flaps are physically removed as they have seized and broken the actuator arm plus insert our block in the hole. Nothing else done. Do they have to be? Yeah, you have to tell the computer because it's going to be trying to figure out where they are. And when it doesn't know where they are, it's not going to be able to put the right fuel balance in. So you're gonna, if you delete it, you're going to have to tell it that you've deleted it. Otherwise, the ECU can't work in that. It's going to think they're at a certain angle where they're not because they're just completely gone. You know, so yeah, you're going to have to tell it. Would you make a cup of tea? I am sweet enough, David. I don't take sugar in my tea because I'm sweet enough. Sorted. My 1.5 Duster is 200 a year, and that's 2015. Yeah, I mean the newer, smaller engines are good, but you know there's not many people that can go out and buy a newer car. You know, so us poor people have to stick with the older motors. 1300, shocking. I can't. Yeah, it's ridiculous. What is a 2 litre Severa tax? I'm paying 215 for the year. A 2 litre is 700. Oh, actually no, I'm wrong. Hold on, is that gone up? Oh no. Right, well it depends because if it's just under 2000 cc's, it's 710. But if it's just over 2000 cc's, so 2001 cc's, 906. So essentially, if it's, which I think they are, I think they're like 997 or sort of 996. So you'd be paying 710 here. But then if it's just over the 2 litre, you'd be paying 900. What did I say? 906. 906, yeah. It's stupid, I know, but that's what it is. People don't believe me. People think I'm actually lying, which I don't know why. Why would I lie about how much it is to tax a car in Ireland? I mean, like, don't understand. Crazy, I know, yeah. Why don't you protest? There's no point. It's like everything. Scrap it, man. How you doing, mate? How you doing? But it's easy to moan. Let's face it. It's easy to moan about the things that no one likes, like the high tax. But then the things that are a hell of a lot cheaper in Ireland compared to other countries, of course, doesn't get mentioned because that's not in people's heads. So it really isn't fair. Look, it swings and roundabouts at the end of the day. But anything you have to rely on, like most people in Ireland have to rely on vehicles because it's rural. So you have to, and they know if you have to rely on it, they're going to tax the shit out of you. But then there's other things, you know, that we don't have to pay in Ireland whatsoever. Like, for example, water rates. We don't have to pay water rates where you do in England and Northern Ireland. So, look, it swings and roundabouts. I'm just moaning because it affects me and it's fucking annoying. And who doesn't like moaning, let's be honest. So it's kind of, yeah, it's just, no one moans about the good things in the country, they just moan about the bad things. So, you know, you have to kind of give up. And let's face it, Ireland is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, especially when the weather's nice. You know, some parts of Ireland is just spectacular. And we have leprechauns, you know. You have to be lucky, but you can see the odd leprechaun running out the road in front of you. So that's why you have to drive very careful, especially at night, near wooded areas, because they like to go in wooded areas. So just be careful if you come to Ireland. Look out for the leprechauns. I nearly hit one the other day. Not good. Not good. Does Ireland have business rates? Tax you? Oh yes, of course they do. TT. Yes. My old place, which wasn't big. You know, it wasn't a big shed. €1,500 a year just to open the door, just in commercial rates. Since this coronavirus happened, I heard it on the radio the other day, in one county, I don't remember which county it was, but in one county, they stopped. They made people, well, not made people, but people could freeze your rates for 3 months because of the virus. And in that 3 months, they lost €4.5 million. just in council rates. In 3 months, in I don't know which county it was. In some county in Ireland, they lost 4.5 million in 3 months. That little council place did. It was ridiculous, and that's just in one county. So you know, is there anything cheap in Ireland? Oh, there is. Like I said, and you just heard what I said there. It's not kind of all doom and gloom. It's just nice to moan sometimes, isn't it? Let's face it. We all moan. Oh, I pay 45 a month for water. See, that's what I'm saying. Look, we don't pay anything for water, so you know, it kind of evens itself out. Do you know what I mean? So you can't have it always, I suppose. Oh, you don't pay water rates in Northern Ireland. Water rates in Dublin. I don't think there's any in Dublin, Dave. I don't think there is. They tried to bring it in, but everyone moaned. I mean, everyone moaned. It's a shame people don't moan about the tax. But it's just kind of, everyone's used to the tax, you know, the tax on cars now. So it's just kind of, you know what you're getting into before you buy the car. So. All right. In Ireland, you need to. I'm presuming you mean cash. Cash. Fucking, I can't speak. Into the come with a pot of gold. You can pay, yeah. We'll watch it later, Gary. I don't know what I've missed. We'll watch it later, Gary. Am I missing something? Do you get a cash reward for hitting the leprechaun? If you find his pot of gold, you do, yeah. So you got to hope you don't kill him, and then he takes you to the old pot of gold, and then you'll be all right. But if you kill him, no, you're not going to get anything, are you? We pay our council tax on water all in one bundle in Northern Ireland. Oh, so some people do pay, and I suppose it depends where you are, because Dave doesn't pay water rates. So I suppose it depends where you are in Northern Ireland. I know in the UK you do, like the mainland UK. And like I said, I'm not going to get in, because I get asked questions all the time about what's the story with Ireland and Northern Ireland. Is it the same country? Is it two countries? Technically speaking, it's two countries, but technically it's one country. I'm not getting into it because it's just I'm just not going to do it. Google it. It's just too difficult to try and explain. The problem is I actually don't think anybody really knows. That's another problem. Yeah. Dave will know what I'm talking about. Just too difficult to explain. Uploaded the video when Mick went live. How rude. Unbelievable. Again, don't know what I'm missing. Don't know what I'm missing there. With all the garages turning into hands car washes, it's pretty pitiful. Rent a garage, people, my local. Whereabouts are you, TT? You must be somewhere in the UK, because I remember you saying you pay 320 quid for your TT. Oh, not for your TT, for your A6. Nice socks. Don't know. Commercial premises pay water rates in Northern Ireland. Ah, okay, that's how it works. Yeah, like I said, you know, it depends. Different countries have different rules. Some people, you know, in Ireland we have to pay, you know, we have to pay commercial rates, and it goes on. The bigger your place is, the more commercial rates you have to pay. Just down the road from me, there's a big, huge shop, like a supermarket type of shop, and it's massive. He's paying £33,000 a year just on rates, so he has to pay 33 grand a year just, and all that gives him is just allows him to run a business. So, and he has God knows how many staff in there, so you can imagine how much money he has to make. 33 grand a year. So the bigger garage you have, if it's commercial. Now, if you have a huge garage and you're just fixing your own cars, you don't have to pay, because you're not using it as a business. But if you start making money from that place, you have to. But then if you're a charity in Ireland, you don't pay anything. You don't pay tax, you don't pay anything. And if you're an artist in Ireland, so if you're a singer, if you're a painter, if you're a musician, they're classed as artists and they don't have to pay any tax either. That's why Bono still technically lives in Ireland, even though no one in Ireland likes Bono. But yeah, because essentially, if you're an artist, you don't pay any tax in Ireland. And technically, I was thinking about this, technically, wouldn't a mechanic be classed as an artist? Because if he's making brackets and making stuff, when you're making stuff, it's an artist. So I was going to try and say, look, I'm an artist. I shouldn't have to pay tax. Don't think it'll work, but, you know, at the end of the day, if you're making stuff, doesn't that mean you're an artist? Is that a bit of a grey area? Worth a look into, I think. Oh wow, I made it live. Cuba, how you doing? It was me, Leon. You need some sheep. What have I missed? What have I missed? Politics and the ordinary person doesn't care anymore. Yeah, I agree with it. It's just difficult to explain. That's what I was trying to get across. To try and explain it is very difficult. Give it a try. Give what a try? Oh, you mean the artist thing? Is it the same for piss artists? But yeah, artists in Ireland don't pay any tax, or charity, charity organisations don't pay any tax either, which is fair enough. All men are artists, piss artists. You are defined as an artist. I must actually check that out, because is that a loophole? Like if you're fabricating stuff, surely that's an artist, isn't it? You know, like people making sculptures, but if you're making a car or making something in a car, that's technically a little sculpture. Don't know. I don't think it'll fly, but mechanic filmmaker, maybe you can get again, yeah, because technically you make videos. That's classed as an artist, isn't it? I don't know. It actually, it might be something worth looking into. You know, because technically you do videos, isn't that classed as some sort of art? I don't know. Make stuff, isn't that kind of interesting? I always keep meaning to check it out as like a bit of a joke, but I keep forgetting. But I always keep saying to myself, "Oh, I must check that out. I must do that," but I never do. Because then I forget about it. I do something else, and something else happens, and then, you know, the usual life crap gets in the way, and just forget about it. Evening, Leon. Have you found new premises yet? No, Peter, I have not. I said I pay $3.20. Yeah, see, this is the problem. This is the delay in the video, but I get you. Can you apply for film payments? Seems the UK government. Yeah, but the Irish Irish government was weird with the way what they were doing. When I did my 24-hour live stream, there was a charity for the NHS that we put up as. I did a charity for Ireland and a charity for the UK, and they had an official NHS charity, but when we tried to find the official Irish charity, there isn't any. The Irish government would not allow, don't know why, they would not allow an official Irish frontline workers charity, not officially, like from the government. And believe me, Irish people would pay for that. So people were setting up their own charities for the frontline workers. So I had to like piggyback on someone else's charity link, and I just shared that charity link. So as regards the deferment payments and stuff like that, they say that they're helping you, but I know a few people that actually tried to get some help and it just didn't work. They just basically said, no, you don't meet the criteria, fuck off, essentially. So yeah, it's just, yeah, it was weird. But it was really weird that they wouldn't allow an official charity for the frontline workers, and it actually stated that they don't allow it, and I don't know why. But lucky enough, a lot of ordinary people set up charities and they did a lot of good stuff, and that kind of donated money to the frontline workers, which was good, because we did one for the NHS and we also did one for PPE for the frontline workers in Ireland. I think it was a GoFundMe, the one in Ireland that I did, and it worked out quite well actually. But it's just annoying how it couldn't be an official, because it just would be so much easier having an official government official charity, because then everyone just donates to it. It gets a lot more recognition because it's run by the government. They can advertise it everywhere and it's just easier. But no, they just wouldn't allow it. Cuba, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's not much, but maybe a pint on me. Wish you luck. Thank you, Cuba. Become a charity and fix cars for donation. Yeah, no, it's not as easy as that. Because even if I did do that, I'd be out of business very soon, because if someone came into me and needed £1,000 worth of work and they only gave me a fiver as a donation, I'm kind of screwed. So yeah, it wouldn't really work. You are an artist, having mechanical. See, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I'm seriously considering this now. I know they're going to tell me to take a long walk off a short pier, but I wonder, am I classed as an artist because I make videos? That'd be interesting. That would be interesting. It's something. The problem is you need to speak to the right person, because it's like anything. When you speak to these in any country, you speak to these government agency people, they won't tell you exactly what you are or not entitled to. You need to know exactly what you're entitled to, and it's very difficult to find the proper information out because it's not really available easy. So that's actually interesting. I must see if that's possible. It is an important virus. How your country leaders can sleep in the world knowing. Yeah, it's like everything, isn't it? A lot of the people. Well, every government in the world is corrupt, aren't they? They just are. They just are. I'll be going shortly, people. We might leave it another 20 minutes, and we've done 2 hours. So what's the time now? That's what we'll do. We'll leave it another 20 minutes. Just 1 second. How about working for a breakdown company? Yeah, but there's not really many. I was thinking of seeing, like, the AA and stuff like that, because you don't really have to, like, there's no one over your head. But it's very difficult to get into them type of jobs. It's like it's more or less who you know, not what you know. But they can be a good job because you don't really fix a lot of the side of the road, because on a lot of the modern cars you can't really. You just quickly plug it in. If it's not something you can reset, just put it on the back, tow it to the nearest garage, boom, you're done, and it's good money. So it's something that I could look into. Absolutely agree. Every government is corrupt. 100%. +1 on that. I think that's the government thing, is it? You're a mean man. Bono and his likes are. There's no one in Ireland. Believe me. Believe me. Not many people in Ireland like Bono. They just don't. And I'm talking Irish people here. He does a lot of stuff that I remember him doing. One thing, he was in Dublin and he was promoting something, his album, or this was a few years ago, and he only allowed certain people to come in, and he didn't allow any Irish media or any Irish fans to come in because he knew that's not where the money is. You know, where the money is America and the UK, because there's just a bigger population, and that pissed off so many people because there was a lot of Irish fans that wanted to come in, and he refused to let any of them in. He's just not liked here, and there's a lot of Irish people on here, and they're not disagreeing with me. He's just not he's just not liked. There was actually a very funny video I saw on YouTube once. I think it was "What's it like being Irish?" or "Being Irish." Something to do with Ireland anyway. And it was obviously a load of Irish people talking about, you know, like people are, all Irish people are always drunk, and you know, the usual stereotypes that just aren't true. And one girl came out and said, and it was brilliant, said any good Irish person England steals. So in other words, if they're doing really, really well and they really, really like England, would say, oh yeah, they're English because their great grandma is English or whatever. So it's kind of a joke that, you know, any kind of popular Irish person England kind of steals. And she turned around and said, no one stole Bono. Funny that, isn't it? And this is an Irish person saying it. No one stole Bono. Yeah, English don't want Bono. He's just not liked. He's just really not liked. But it was just hilarious how she said it. And like I said, look on the chat. There's a good few Irish people here, and not one of them are disagreeing with me. Now I said that, they're going to disagree with me. But yeah. Yes, I can, Liam. What have I missed? Has Liam said a question? Oh, can head gasket sealer block radiator? Yes, and it can also block the heater matrix. You making tea?
No, sandwich.
What sandwich? Ham and cheese?
Oh.
Yeah. You're not making tea? Ah, go on.
Go
on.
Wait, you're
Since that question, in 20 years, folks will be driving with trailers, and every home will have a garden. Oh yeah, well, we have an Irish person here now. She doesn't want to go on camera, but I'm sure she will say it. So, Linda, do you like Bono?
No.
There you go. I tell you, it's just one of them things. It's just funny. It's just funny. I never like you two. It's only when you see, you know, most people around the world won't see what he does because that news doesn't travel past Ireland. You know, just like most certain news doesn't travel past their country, and it's just so you might kind of think, oh yeah, well I like Bono. Look at all the, you know, you're in a different country, you've seen all the kind of the stuff he does, but you don't see the stuff he does at home, and I think that's it. He's just not liked. He's just not liked. Go on. Yeah, that was Andy. Obviously, he's watching Father Ted.
I heard you're racist now.
Yeah, that was a great episode of Father Ted. When he thought he was racist, he says, so is that the church's view? I can't commit all my time to being racist, but I'll try my best. Or something like that. It was brilliant. And like I said, there's a lot of Irish people on here, and not one of them yet has disagreed with me about Bono, which is hilarious.
You don't even pay any taxes.
Huh?
You don't even pay any taxes.
I know, I was telling him about that. Artists don't pay taxes here. That's why he still technically lives in Ireland, even though he doesn't.
Yeah.
I think you only have to come back. Was it 2 weeks in a year or something to not have to pay taxes? Thank you. It's something like that. You only have to come back. You don't have to live in the country 14 days or something daft like that to not have to pay taxes. What's the difference between... Linda! Come here quick. I just want to see what you think of this joke. What's the difference between God and Bono?
No.
God doesn't think he's Bono.
Very good.
That is good. That is good. Bono's a cunt. Well, there we go. So there's more Irish people agreeing with me. What am I seeing now? Been watching Mrs. Brown Boys. Funny. I haven't actually watched Mrs. Brown Boys. Father Ted though is unbelievable. People, if you don't know anything, like if you're not in England or Ireland, you most probably won't have heard of Father Ted. But honestly, Google it. If you're in any other part of the world, you haven't seen it. Google it, download it. It is absolutely brilliant. One of the funniest programs ever written. It's always in like the top 10 of any comedy thing. You know, you've got you've got your Faulty Towers, you've got your Only Fools and Horses, and then this is in the polls, because Faulty Towers without a doubt is like just the best. It just is. Only Fools and Horses, and then you've got like Father Ted. It is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You have to watch it. You really do have to watch it. Nobody up here gives a shit about Bono. See, that's another Irish person saying it. They just don't. Yeah, it's just they just don't. What is a special kit for head bolts? Times. Oh, hold on. Where's my little thing? I'm missing it. What is the special kit for head bolts? Time inserts. Yeah, well, it's not so much for your head bolts; it's for your cylinder. If you rip out the threads in it, you can buy special inserts. Essentially, that you drill it out and you put these inserts in. It gives you your threads back. Essentially, I met Bono's son, and he was really down to earth guy. Yeah, well, his son might be. His son might be, but I don't think you'd say that about Bono if you met him. Not that I've ever met him, so I can't really tell, but again. Drink, yes. Drink, Father Ted, drink. Watch Mrs. Brown Bikini Wax. Make yourself. Yeah, Father Ted is without doubt, it's one of the best TV shows that's ever been written. There's just, and especially when you know kind of the history with Ireland and the church, especially when Father Ted was written, nobody would say anything bad about the church, and it's just brilliant. One episode, I won't spoil it for you, but one episode, Dougal, again. Dougal is kind of like the dopey kind of guy, doesn't really know what's going on, and three cardinals or three bishops came to him to see him, and with what he said, one turned into a hippie, one I can't remember now, but anyway, they all dropped the church after what Dougal said to him. You just have to watch it, believe me, it is just brilliant. Father Ted. Here's how you know the difference near and far away. Again, David's talking about. There's a little. Oh, I had a little cow. Dougal couldn't work out why the cows were really small, and Ted had a little toy cow next to him, and Dougal just thought they were that size. He's like, no, look, Dougal, this is a cow. They're really far away. Again, you have to see it, and there's a drunken priest in there as well. It's fantastic. It really is fantastic. You have to see it because it rips the piss out the Catholic Church in just one of the best ways ever. Not in a horrible way, not in like a racist way or anything like that. It's just very cleverly written. It's just, you have to see it. You really do have to see it. And I mean, even at the point when it was on, the Irish TV company wouldn't take it because they didn't think it'd go over too well, because it was basically ripping the piss out of the Catholic religion. So I think it was BBC4 that, or BBC1, I can't remember. Anyway, it was one of the English channels that actually took it and ran with it, and it was so successful. Then the Irish people, because it's written by two Irish guys, obviously. Irish TV then took it because they realised, okay, yeah, we're losing millions here, and it's going down very well. So they kind of, allowed it to be aired on Irish telly. But at first, it wasn't aired on Irish telly. They was afraid of it. But yeah, it's brilliant. I have a 1.6 HZ Picasso, and two of the glow plugs tips have broken off in the head about halfway down. Any suggestions? You can buy a special kit, Mark, and there's no other way apart from really buying the special kit. It is expensive, so you might want to go to a garage with the kit because it'd be cheaper. But you can buy a special kit that will drill it out the middle. It will fling it in, and you can pull it out. So yeah, it's completely easy to do, as long as you have the right tools. But the kits are quite expensive, but once you have it, no problem. And it can take a few hours, but it's not, it's not a problem. It really isn't a problem. We'll watch that one. Oh, Andy, you have to watch it. You believe me, if you haven't seen Father Ted, you will love me for suggesting Father Ted for you, because it is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I have a question. 2-stroke outboard starts, ticks over fine, full throttle, just away the same revs, but the fuel taps off. Would the float be stuck? The float could be stuck. It could be a problem with the carburettor. The carburettor could have a bit of crap in it. The lift pump could be slightly weak in it. There's a few issues. It could be. You could have some. It could just be crap in the carburettor, because the 2-stroke engine is fairly, temperamental compared to a 4-stroke. So it could just be taking the carburettor out, cleaning it, and also the little gaskets between the carburettor and the engine could be sucking in a slight bit of air, which will also kind of do the same problem. So I'd say that's your issue there. I just brought a Nissan X-Trail T30 2.2. Anything I need to look out for? Known faults. Well, the first problem, Peter, unfortunately, is a Nissan. So that's the first problem. The second problem is you're going to have to check the chassis, because I'm trying to think which Nissans now. I did a video on it, but a lot of the Nissans had, you're not going to like this, but they had a massive problem with their chassis snapping. They were made in Spain, to the point where Nissan are buying the vehicles back. It's that bad. Nissan are buying the vehicles back off the owners and scrapping them. I did a video on it, and as I lifted it up, you could actually see the thing bending in the middle. It rusts from the inside out, and it literally snaps in half. Literally, it's really bad. I'm not sure if it's on the X-Trails. Just check it out though, because that's going to be your biggest issue with that. 100% is the video that I wedged a piece of paper in it, in the video, and as I was lifting it up. Now I'm talking about lifting up on a lift with the legs completely out, supporting the whole weight of the vehicle. It wasn't just the legs in the middle. And it opened up about 1.5 inches as I was lifting it up. That's how much it moved. And this was a good frame. It wasn't completely rusted all the way through. So yeah, I know it's maybe not the best news, but check it out. I only got a few minutes left before I go, people. Where are all the questions I have missed? Volvo S40 reduced engine performance keeps coming up. 08 1.6 have clean ECM, fuel contact cleaner, support the other. Have you plugged the scan tool in and got any codes? It could be a simple thing as just a dodgy filter. It could be injector issues, but what you first need to do is check the fuel. So plug your scan tool in, crank it over, see if you're getting like 280, 300 bar at cranking over. If you're not getting that sort of pressure, then look at your fuel filters and stuff like that. It could just be a really simple fix that. But if you can get me some codes, it would help a lot more as well, because it could be other issues that might be expensive. Channel 4 took farther. Yeah, I thought it was Channel 4 that took it. It's over Irish TV now. It's all over the place, and it's still shown because it's brilliant. You know, you'll still see it if you're in England and Ireland all the time. If you got Netflix, is it on Netflix? No, it's not on Netflix. I don't think it's on Netflix. But if you can't get it, all you got to do is go onto eBay and just type in Father Ted box set, and you'll get it. So you can actually get it even if you're not in the country. Lots of people go to Father Ted's house. Woman lives turned into a... Yeah, the house they used as their house is actually a real house. It's on an island, Inishbofin or Inishmore. I'm not sure which one. I can't remember which one it's. No, it's not one of them. Anyway, it's on an island just off the coast of Galway, and it came to be a very famous house where people now, you know, people all around the world go to this house and take a picture on the outside. So yeah, it's just, believe me people, it is fantastic. Mark, if you've got the proper globe plug, oh yeah, I've already answered that. We'll watch Father Ted. You definitely need to watch it, mate. You really need to watch it. Thanks, I'll strip the carburetor again and double. Yeah, just you want to make sure when you strip the carburetor, you want to just get a good airline and blow out all the little needle jets. You can screw the little needle jets out because they're very small. It could be a little bit of crap stuck in the needle jet. Screw it out, blow it out, but be careful. Don't hold it in your hand like that, because as you blow through it, it'll just fly off. So you want to make sure you're holding it tight and blow everything out, and try that. But put new gaskets in as you're putting it back. Always put new gaskets in, because you know the gaskets could be. It was Navara and the Pathfinder pickup trucks. Yeah, but I think Peter, it went to other vehicles as well. Just double check. Just double check. But apart from that, apart from the actual chassis thing, if that's going to be an issue, it's just kind of the normal stuff. You know, the injectors can give problems because it's just, you know, the diesel injectors, if they've got any bad washed diesel through it. They can suffer with heavy use on the front brakes and the suspension just because they're quite big. Nothing really else. EGR valves, they do suffer with EGR valves as well. All them Nissans do. So you want to check that too. But apart from that, there's not really kind of much as such. The Nissan Navara, Leon, I watched that video. Yeah, it was scary. It was scary how much it moved. And like I said, this was one of the better ones. Nissan brought that vehicle back off him. Nissan paid him for that vehicle and they took it off the road. But it was a worldwide thing. It wasn't just an Irish thing. You know, Australia saw it first because they have a lot of pickups over there. But it was a worldwide problem. It was chassis. Even now, I think to 2018, 2019, they still suffer with it. It was a load of chassis made somewhere in Spain, I believe, or Italy. I think it was Spain, and they just the metal they used wasn't very good. But of course, when they were brand new, no one really knew. It was only when they start getting a bit older. But I think it even affects like 2018, 2019 some vehicles. I think it affects an awful lot of them. Oh, I need to. I'm missing. Oh, I've missed loads. I had the chat rolled up, so I didn't see all the chat coming down. So, wow, oh, that's crazy. I remember talking about the kind of, again, don't know what that is. Sorry. No codes. Do you have a Volvo? No codes. Well, if you've got no codes, just check. Just go onto the live data and check all your fuel systems. So check your pressures, check your pumps and stuff. You can do that with live data quite easily, just to see if you're getting the right type of pressures. If you're not getting the right type of pressures, you have to take it further. But if you are, again, you have to go a bit further. But you can do leak-off tests on your injectors. You can do pressure tests. You know, if it's got a lift pump, you can test that. There's a few things you can do with, you know, very, very kind of simple-ish tools. Dan, how you doing? Kicking Bishop Benham arse made me laugh, Mrs. Yeah, again, the kicking Bishop Burners are just. I don't want to spoil it for people. You need to believe me. You need to see it. You really do. You really do need to see it. It was acted brilliantly. It was written brilliantly. The only reason they stopped is because one of the main guys, he actually died after the third series or something. Or when they were stuck, I tell you, people will know this that watch Father's Head. When they were stuck, I won't spoil it for you, but when they were stuck in the laundry section of a big shopping place, all the priests, and they made it like a Mission Impossible type, the way they filmed it, because they had to escape without being caught, all these priests in the women's laundry section. Unbelievable, just unbelievable. Even saying it, a load of priests in the women's laundry section, can you imagine what would happen if that got out? It's just, you have to see it. You really do have to see it. Just brilliant. I'm just going to wait for the comments. I've just got over the 2 hours, but I'm just going to wait for the comments to come through on the women's laundry section on Father Ted. One of the funniest things you'll ever see, without a doubt. One of the funniest things. One of the funniest things you'll ever see. This is at 5. Douglas. Oh yeah. Yeah, believe me, when the women's laundry one is just brilliant. The racist one is fantastic. Well, I mean, they're all fantastic, but some of them just really do stick out. Really, really do stick out. It's just, yeah, it's just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I'll be putting this other video up very shortly on just a big thank you to everybody that's kind of helped and stuff like that. And you know, thank you to Can Diagnostics for setting up that link as well. I haven't really talked about it because I don't like talking about it, but I think it's going to be over now. We're gonna stop it, so it doesn't really matter me talking about it. But yeah, so just yeah, big thank you to everybody. The video will be coming soon. Just be easy to do a video, and that's it. I'm going now. So hopefully everyone had a good time. Been here for 2 hours. God, doesn't time fly? And we'll see you for the next one, people. And have a good day or evening or night wherever you're from. And hopefully this virus thing's going to stop and everyone can get back to normal reality again, and I'll find a new place very soon and we'll get back to normal and it's all going to be fine and it's going to be sorted. I don't just see that. I heard you were racist, Father. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. He was racist with the Chinese people. It was just brilliant. He wasn't, but it was brilliant. Anyway, people, look, we'll talk to you later. Have a good one. See you later. Sorted.